Hi, I'm Danny Black, and welcome to the At Sports Ball podcast. On this podcast, I will be talking sports cards, collectibles, memorabilia. I'll be interviewing hobby guests. I will be talking about my own thoughts. I'll cover regular sports that relate to the hobby. That's the fun part. More importantly, I want you along for the ride. So click like and follow for more content, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Hi, and welcome to a special Wednesday night edition of At Sports Ball, Baltimore Sports Collectibles podcast. Uh, there was some information that came out in the last week or two, and just wanted to talk and share a little bit. Got some stuff going around the house right now, so if you see me jump, my feet are actually up in the air. We got some mice running around, so yeah, you might see that during the show. I was on a different show and shared something I realized I had never shared before. So I'm going to share a little personal collection item a little bit later. But one of the things that I thought was really cool, if you've ever used the app Clubhouse, Kunal Chopra, the new CEO of Beckett, actually had a Clubhouse session and talked, and he answered for about an hour and a half anybody's questions who came in, and I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was a good way to reach out socially uh, through social media and to answer questions. And it wasn't just industry people; it was Beckett fans and collectors, and there was some good information. First of all, the purchase of Knox is going to turn into a collection management tool. Scott Roskin, who came over from uh, Knox, is going to kind of head their their project there. He is a hobby guy. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But Kanal was very open about kind of moving forward as a company. He talked about Beckett needing to kind of reclaim that place. He also talked about being forward thinking with technology, but not using technology to replace traditional graders, but using technology for more efficiencies. I think we've heard similar things from all the grading companies. One of the things that Beckett does have, and they do leverage, is their marketplace and their online price guide. So, what he talked about is with the Knox purchase, somehow there's going to be this new Beckett Collector, Beckett X program where you're going to be able to get the sales data, you're going to be able to get that collection management, and there's going to be different price tiers. Sounds like the way that's going. So, Canal was very honest that they're kind of taking a step back and getting things right, and they know they had a rough time through the pandemic, and they dropped probably down a couple notches on the grading top 10. And that's okay. They can reset. They've got I think good people in place now. But let's talk about what they've done. They purchased Knox, and they purchased Do Dilly. Well, Do Dilly is going to provide them with a lot of the AI that they are going to incorporate into the grading process, once again, to supplement the human beings. And Kanal actually brought up an interesting point. He brought up the fact that human beings can actually smell the card, and AI can't replicate that. So that was an interesting, hadn't thought about that before. And I certainly understand, as somebody who likes to go through boxes, the idea of actually smelling a card makes perfect sense. And I know people have talked about cards that are forged. That's also an issue. So that was an interesting interpretation about how AI can help but not be perfect. So I like that he talked about that. But the other part of Due Dilly is they're actually going to turn that technology into a live breakers platform. And it seems kind of like a early whatnot type of live breaker scenario. It'll be interesting because what they're saying is now you can break, send the card to Beckett immediately for grading without ever hitting your house. And then they've also introduced a vault now, and you can go to their website and sign up for early access to the vault. And so that card can be, you can break it through their site, you can send it to grading through them, and you can send it to vault and then ultimately marketplace through them. And that's just, it's one of these ecosystems we keep talking about. Collectors Universe or Collectors Now. Same thing. They've got the vault, they've got the golden marketplace, they've got the grading, and you're seeing this replicated several different places. What does that mean? It means that they're trying to rebuild brand loyalty. If the cards stay in their ecosystem, you're going to stay with Beckett. What did I think of Canal? as a hobbyist, was I impressed with him as a CEO? Uh, Clearly, bright guy. Clearly, is very excited about the potential to add tech to maybe an antiquated process. Clearly, not a hobby guy. I don't think he pretends that he is. Um, Maybe I guess the emotional side of me wishes he was trying a little harder on that side. He was asked if he's made any purchases of any cards since he took over Beckett, and he mentioned that he bought one box but hasn't opened it yet. So I'm not sure that the CEO should have no understanding, but he's certainly learning the salient details. Um, but as an example, somebody asked about competing with the PSA guarantee, and would that be something Beckett would consider, to keep up with PSA or to get some credibility back after the last year or two? And he was not familiar with the PSA guarantee, and mentioned that he would be looking into that in the future. So just little things like that. And listen, it's been a roller coaster for the whole hobby over the last 18 months or so. I can't imagine for him, but he's got Scott Roskin on, and Scott, transferring over to him, because Scott clearly is a hobby guy. Scott talked about watching YouTube content creators. I hope he watches this, and trying to get feedback from the community. I think what they found is people do like the option of having the subgrades on the cards. That was kind of clear in the chat, and I think people also don't like the BVG and the BGS having kind of different grading systems for the vintage and the modern. One of the other issues is also the size of the slab being different than the other companies. But so many people that have invested in Beckett slabs over the years want the consistency, and that's a legitimate point. Um, so his comments were no major changes right away. What might we see right away? He hinted at a QR code to get more detailed analysis, maybe on the grade itself, and that could be something that's coming down the road. You could also have the QR code if you're doing your inventory and collection management, and that could all be integrated right into there, and that would be cool. So a lot of that stuff, it really has a lot of potential. Scott, being a hobby guy, I think is sensitive to kind of that secondary market, that traders platform, and really kind of the heartbeat of the hobby. So it'll be interesting, and he's the chief visionary officer. So it'll be interesting to see what he does and the balance there between him and Kanal Chopra. So those were just kind of some of my feedback and some of my thoughts after watching them this week. Um, Now, two personal items just to share a little bit of fun this week. My daughter, shout out for SGC. They got my daughter to wear their T-shirt to high school today. So, well done SGC to get a high school sophomore to wear your shirt. And I shared this on another show, and I realized I've probably never shared it actually on my own podcast. I think I've talked about it, but this is probably one of my most prized possessions. Uh, Obviously, it's a Major League Baseball. You can see a scuff mark, foul ball. And if you can see that, this is actually the first foul ball I ever caught for my wife, or at the time, my future wife. We were married a couple months after that. But it says, first ball Danny caught for Laura. And that's April 24th, 2004. So, wow, almost 19 years ago, 18 and a half years ago. So I just wanted to share that because some of the most important parts of anybody's collection, maybe not financially the most valuable, but certainly personally the most valuable. So I wanted to make sure that people got to see that because a lot of people commented that they didn't know I had that and I should share more of that stuff. So I'm proud to show my daughter and the foul ball I caught my wife and talk a little Beckett today. So if you have any questions, certainly leave them in the comments. Contact me on social. And hope you enjoyed another episode. And I will be back in the next couple of days. We've got some more guests coming back, some people you'll definitely know and should be excited for those episodes. So Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, feel free to leave notes in the comments. And once again, I encourage you heavily, if you haven't joined or listened to the comment that Kanal Chopra made on Clubhouse, the new Beckett CEO. You can watch the replay of this for a synopsis, but some very interesting comments on the future of Beckett. So glad to share that. That's what I'm here for. And thanks for watching another episode. Have a good day.